What's the meaning of life? Hello team, my name's Kimani Okearah. I hope to be adding my voice to whatever's going on right now. I feel like it's needed. I don't really want to be in front of a camera, but you know, we got people talking about coffee tables and walls of coffee tables, and let's have an intelligent, logical discussion. Now I actually have an answer for you about what the meaning of life is, but I'm going to ask you to follow along with me, okay? The first question I have for you is, what is human sentience? Think about that for a second. What is sentience? What is that? What does that even mean? A lot of people would say that sentience is the ability to be self-aware. Sentience is the ability to live in service to another thing. Sentience is cognition. And yes, that's part of it. Linguistically, the way that we use sentience as a word is to claim dominion over every other animal on this planet and the planet itself. Because we are claiming that the human being is the sentient animal. We're at this end of the spectrum. And all the other animals have sentience, but they're lesser than us on a spectrum. You know, bacteria, human being. Now, we're taught in school, I'm not sure this is true for every country, but we're taught in school that human sentience, or what sets the human animal apart from other animals, is that we use tools at a high level. And after thinking not very hard, I decided that that was complete bullshit. It's just not true. Because there's all sorts of creatures on this planet that use tools at high levels that we can't even contextualize or comprehend. Bees build beehives, right? You can put me in a room with you for 3 months. You know, we're not gonna be able to build a beehive. Not in the same way bees can. So are they not using tools at a high level? A beehive to a bee is a skyscraper to a human. There's no real tangible difference. Taking materials from the earth and building something grand that a community can share. So why are we putting a value of sentience on the skyscraper over the beehive? You see what I mean? Okay. Linguistically, the way that we use sentience as a word is to actually lift ourselves over every other animal on this planet, saying that we are sentient beings, more so sentient than every other animal on the planet. That's just not the right paradigm to be approaching the world with. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying that we are all fundamentally very stupid, because what we think is sentience isn't actually sentience. Let me explain. What we consider to be sentience is actually a survival trait. It's our singular survival trait. We have a bunch of smaller survival traits that augment our singular survival trait, and that survival trait is pattern recognition. That is how our brains function. That is how the human animal functions in every capacity of thought, action, emotion, you name it. I can prove it. Think about it. What I'm doing right now, think of me as an animal. Not as a human being, but as an animal. I'm not speaking. I'm just making a bunch of noise through a hole in my face, like a dog barks or a cat meows. But because you recognize the patterns in these noises that I'm using, you are able to build a context to where you understand what I'm intending to communicate. You follow? Whoa. Yeah, you know, that's pattern recognition. It's simple, it's right there. Okay, let's extend that to the written language. Literally just patterns of tiny pictures arranged in ways that we can all gather meaning from. It's bizarre, right? Oh, well, Kimani, that can't be true. That can't be true. We're much more complex than that. No, we're really not, because guess what? Mathematics is a language that we've developed to address pattern recognition in the abstract. Science, or what I'll say the scientific method, is our curiosity as an ape mixed with patterns of success and failure. Art? Show me art that isn't pattern-based. Any art. It's either pattern-based or it's based on a rejection of patterns. That's kind of the binary there. Emotions. Emotions are based on patterns of chemical reactions that are happening in your brain. And feelings are based on how we've templated those emotional responses. Because you've had a pattern of experiences, a pattern of emotional responses that have developed into kind of an automatic feeling. It's very interesting. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the human animal can only build context. We can only recognize information through patterns. One of the fundamental issues that this brings up is that sentience as a claim to be better than all the other animals is just false. We cannot prove it. There's no way to prove it. We only have the context of what we understand. Let me throw this out there. It's our understanding through our pattern recognition that carbon is the only element that can support life on this planet. But my position is that if there were a nitrogen-based life form on this planet, or an oxygen-based, or hydrogen-based, go on, would we even be able to build a context to recognize that? No, I don't think we can. You know, we can imagine it, because I just did, but we can't build a context to prove that that exists. We might call it wind, we might call it whatever. Yeah, I know how wind works, okay? But basically this means that we are a lot stupider of a creature than we think we are. Oh my goodness, that just means we don't know anything. We have no context other than what we've built so far, and a lot of what we've built so far is false, because it relies on templating. Templating means that you trained yourself to think in a certain patternistic way, and it builds paradigms and dichotomies that are very harmful for our development as a human animal. But we have to come together and realize, like, hey, you and me, we're the same. We bleed red. Our minds work the same. We process patterns. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. We're together. Now we can figure out how our context is incorrect, like race. And we can figure out how to move society forward in really positive ways. That's the meaning of life. Employing our pattern recognition, our singular survival trait, to move the conditions of the human animal forward. And on top of that, I won't position the human animal as the only animal that recognizes patterns at the level that we do. But what I will say is that we can all collectively agree that we have the ability and the responsibility to maintain living conditions on this planet for us and for any animal that we can bring along. That's the meaning of the human life. That's the meaning of the human animal. That's our purpose. And you can apply whatever spiritual thinking, whatever spiritual paradigm you want to that. It works with everything. So please share this video. It's been a while since I've put myself out there like this, but you know, I've spent 2 years meditating and dwelling and trying to create solutions because I don't like the direction of this planet. I don't like the direction of the human animal. We're not creating conditions to move ourselves forward because we're not engaging with how our brains work, with what we are, with what we do. It's very hot. It's midnight. It's midnight 30 and I'm sweating because there's 2 lights.